It's been a minute. I am happy to be catching up with you again. Where are you?
I'm in Los Angeles. I'm quarantining with my boyfriend and my two best friends who also happen to be my managers. So,
Uh,
yeah.
how just in general? How are you doing? How are you feeling? And just in terms of either right now or in general.
Right now, I feel exhausted. I stayed up very late last night because I kind of had a panic yesterday because I was like, oh my gosh, like I set myself this May 15th deadline to hand in this album and I'm like really behind. Like I have only mixed like two songs. I gotta like get a move on. So yesterday I was feeling very like stressed and so I stayed up until like 4 and like made some songs and stuff like that. So yeah, today I'm just like really exhausted, but generally I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm very thankful for my situation. Like I know I'm in um, quite a privileged position right now, just to to be able to be quarantined with people and also to be in a house and also to be able to maintain my creativity because I know that like some artists and some people are not able to create how they would normally like to. So I feel lucky that I've managed to figure out kind of a situation for myself.
I'm curious as to that moment where I know you were working on music before the entire world shut down, and I'm curious as to that kind of aha moment where you decided that you were going to make an album in quarantine, give yourself a deadline. Where at what point did that happen, and why did you make that call?
Well, so pre-quarantine, as you mentioned, I was making a different album, and I say this about most of my albums that I put out, but I think the one that I was making was like the most pop album that I've made. But I know I say that about every album when I'm writing it. But this album that I was making, it felt very polished and very kind of um, structured, and I wanted the visuals to be really kind of like dramatically like amplifying like a character that I would kind of become, and like just it felt like really different from anything that I'd done before. And then obviously quarantine happened and I was like, okay, like even though the music's done, I don't really feel like I'm in a position where I can create the visual world to go along with this. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be something I'm going to be able to achieve like on my own from home. So I had already mentioned that I wanted to make two albums this year. Whether that still happens, I don't know. But I also wanted to do an album at the end of the year, which I'd kind of begun to speak to Sophie and AG about a little bit. And we wanted to do something in like, a month, 2 months, like going to one place, like really like shutting off the world and focusing in on like just making music like very quickly and fluidly and like putting it out like quite soon after we'd completed it. And so the idea to do something like that was already there. So I kind of just thought like once, the lockdown begun and I was in kind of that position anyway, I kind of just thought like, why don't I just do that now? Because this time feels very like fruitful for me as a creative. I enjoy not being able to be distracted. I enjoy being in one place. I enjoy being shut off from the world, really. So yeah, I think that's why it happened basically. And also like I would have had a breakdown had I not been occupied.
You've been doing this for a few weeks now. You've had a couple songs come out. What's been the biggest surprise in terms of this process?
Just honestly, like how receptive my fans have been and my listeners and how engaged they want to be, not only in like digesting the music, but the creative process. Like they all have really good ideas and they want to be involved.
Have artists been reaching out to help or offer beats or for collaborations?
Yeah, there's been like a lot of beats. coming my way, which has been really cool. And artists as well. I feel like with the artists thing, though, this project should not be about a lot of features, just because it doesn't feel totally like genuine to the situation that I'm in. Like, the subject matter that I'm talking about is very kind of genuine to my situation and possibly not theirs. I've kind of like decided, I think, in the back of my mind, that unless something like really feels totally right, it will probably just be me on this album. Chris did hit me up though, like straight away. She was like, let me know if you need like melodies or lyrics. And like, I love her. I love how she writes, and like we might send some stuff back and forth. But yeah, like it feels like a very kind of self-conscious project, I suppose. Like, I'm in my own brain a lot.
Yeah, it totally makes sense to me. I will say that if you and Chris ever got together for like a pop Watch the Throne joint project, I don't know if I could handle it.
You know what, like, it's funny you say that. Like, we've spoken about it, like, for sure. Like, we just clicked so well. We like really, really hit it off and have become great friends post Gone. We've definitely spoken about a side album, like a side project. Like, I don't know. We've spoken about it. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. But the idea is in the universe for sure.
Someday. You guys have plenty of time. It's fine.
Yeah.
You've spoken in other interviews about making this album not only while under quarantine, but quarantining with your boyfriend. What has it been like trying to make a piece of art while stuck in the same house with your significant other all the time?
You know what? My boyfriend is like he's like a very creative person also, and he's very understanding of like my process. And so he gives me space, and like we have a really good dialogue about like that kind of thing. When it comes to writing songs about someone who's literally sat in the next room, like that is a new experience, and it's a little weird. Like, I do feel kind of like nervous sometimes to like yell out a line, but luckily like the songs have all been pretty positive, so it's not like I'm not singing like anything too brutal at the moment. Watch this space. But you know, it's been cool because we've been collaborating on a lot of like photos and videos and things like that, and I've always loved working with my friends, but I've never like worked with like a boyfriend in such a like intimate way. And it's been really nice, and it's kind of added this new dynamic to our relationship, and I've been really enjoying it. I would recommend it. I think to be like creative with your partner is, even if you're like not really that kind of a couple, like I think it just brings out this interesting new dynamic. I'm really enjoying it.
In terms of your day-to-day over the next 2 weeks, what are you expecting as you reach the finish line of this album?
I'm just like slamming myself now. So I feel like over the past week, the kind of like press, like photo shoots, making videos, like assets, like interviews has really like taken over my life. And I've been like, fuck, I haven't like made any music. Like, what is happening? So now I'm just like, I'm saying no to everything, and I'm just like, I need to make music. Like, otherwise there's going to be nothing to promote. And also I'm making this book, which is kind of like a documentation of like everything that's gone on around this album making process, from like the kind of artworks that other visual artists have made, artworks that fans have made, my lyrics, probably like the whole text chain with me and A.G. Cook and BJ Burton. I'm going to put all of this together, and then I want to kind of run some like prints of the book and have all of the money going to LA Alliance.
When, whenever this ends and whenever life returns to a little bit of normalcy, what's the first thing you're looking forward to doing that you can't do right now?
Like hugging a stranger, I think. Or just like having a group hug with my friends who I haven't seen like physically for so long now.
Well, Charlie, this has been great to catch up. And I'm really glad you're doing well, and I'm glad you're staying creative and putting out excellent music all through this.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Jason. It's nice to speak to you.
I'll catch you later.
Bye.